The Woods Report.
Hopefully we get a full show today. We got cut off on both sides.
I know. Hopefully we don't get cut off today.
And we did come back on for those of you who didn't know. And we did our donkey.
Well, we only did the we only did the who did I say was the donkey? I can't even remember.
The people in the
the submarine. They gave them the donkey of the day.
Which is sad today.
Yeah. People gave them the donkey of the day. So.
Sad news today.
But what we started off talking about Cardi B. She was arguing with the grandson of one of the people that was in the submarine.
Really? What was she arguing with them about?
Well, I'll give you the whole thing.
Okay.
And also Tasha K.
Okay, Tasha isn't Tasha in lawsuit against her or something? Tasha's been. Wouldn't you think all the trouble she's been in to kind of?
Cardi B already sued Tasha K. And won $4 million, and Tasha K is not paying her back. She said she don't have no money.
They'll probably still milk her assets.
No, she hid her money in Africa. Her husband is African. She's hid her money. She probably gave it to her mother, put it in her mother-in-law's name or something.
Well, it's gonna come back to her. So
everything comes back to her.
Which all she wants.
Or why would you want to live like that? Having a judgment against you, you got to keep everything in somebody's name.
Do this, do that. Here, son.
Mike Perk says, M. Perk says, hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. It's what did I miss, Mike? No, you right on it today, Mike. You on it today.
I mean, we cut off early yesterday, but we went not early. We actually cut off after the hour.
Right now, I hope if we do it again, I hope it does it right. Don't do it.
We had technical problems. It just went poof.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see. But anyway, Cardi B, let's start off with her combo with Tasha K. Tasha K started it like she always does. No reason whatsoever to say anything to Cardi B.
Oh, she started something. She
likes messing with her, don't she? Yeah, she likes messing with her because she hates her.
Why?
It's the whole. I mean, the whole that
Tasha
K. I think Tasha K has a mental problem.
Yeah,
because when
you're stalking her,
you have a mental issue. If you so bent on somebody to where it's ruining your whole life, not a mental problem. She got a spiritual problem.
Oh, well.
Because that means unforgiveness, and that unforgiveness to eat you from the inside out.
Did Cardi do something to her?
No.
That she's not forgiving her and she's just always at her?
No, she just
don't like... She has no reason.
She don't like Cardi B, and Cardi B went after her and said, Lee, keep my name out your mouth, or I'm going to sue you. And she didn't keep her name out her mouth, and she sued her.
Well, she did what she said.
Yeah, she did what she said. So Cardi B, one of the grandsons, long story short, one of the grandsons of the billionaire that was on the submarine or whatever that thing was that they went down. He went to a concert and posted it.
Oh, the concert?
He went to a concert of a rock star and posted that he was at a concert.
Okay.
And Cardi B said, she wrote in the comments, you shouldn't be at a concert when your father is, not grandfather, your father, stepfather, is at the bottom of the ocean and we don't even know if he got enough air to breathe. I would think you would be at home grieving like most people.
Oh, it was that man's son.
His son, yes. And so he went off on Cardi B for saying that, and Tasha K jumped in. That's why I said she didn't have any reason to jump in. There was no reason
for Tasha K to...
None.
And I kind of see people can say that's not your business, but yet it's freedom of speech. Yeah, you may get backlash for some of your freedom of speech.
Right.
But she does have a point.
Yeah. Well, Tasha K pretty much said, how are you jumping in his comments, worrying about how he responded, and you was doing everything under the sun when Takeoff passed away. You wasn't sitting at home crying and all this other stuff.
What was she doing when Takeoff passed?
I don't know. But it has nothing to do, no. But even if she did.
Was she out shopping?
That's not her child. Oh, but anyway. So
Takeoff is her brother, her cousin.
Her husband's friend. Oh, okay. We found out they wasn't related.
Oh, okay.
So it says Cardi B posted a fiery response on Wednesday night, June 21st, as part of the latest ongoing feud with gossip blogger Tasha K, just months after a judge denied an appeal from Tasha K over a $4 million verdict that Cardi's defamation suit against Tasha. And Tasha K, this is Cardi B, with your despicable ASS, To bring up Takeoff to prove a fake A point is disgusting. I lost weight. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Me and my man still dealing with that to this day, Cardi tweeted. Seemingly in a response to an earlier tweet from Tasha, in which the blogger wrote, wasn't she posting guns right after Takeoff's death? And on the internet cutting up not long after his sudden takeoff? ? I'm just asking. So being funny, not after his sudden takeoff. Now that's disrespectful. No, that's disrespectful.
It is.
So that anger.
Takeoff left. He died. He passed away.
Right.
Yeah.
So that made Cardi mad, and she responded. Now my issue is that Cardi should have never responded to Tasha K. Every time Cardi responds to Tasha K, her ratings go up, and it makes her more popular. Nobody's checking for Tasha K. No. But when she knows to push those buttons on Cardi.
She needs some viewers.
And Cardi always has to respond. So it's like, if somebody bothering you and if you like a giant and they're an ant, if you respond, you make that ant bigger than what they are. So that's what she does.
She pushed her button and it worked.
Every time she responds.
And she responded, which made more viewers, which I want.
Yep. And then she said, Cardi went on. The comment about the late Migos members who made up 1/3 of the trio also features Cardi's husband, Offset. It seemed to infuriate Cardi, who continued, I'm a rapper. We target all the time, so of course I have guns for protection. Why is she answering Tasha K about the guns? But anyway, but since you want to be funny for comments, I'm going to make sure your kid don't go to college. You think my lawyers don't know you hide money in Africa? Ooh. I'm going to make sure I get every red cent of my $4 million. Don't ever, and she did all in bold, put Takeoff's name in your mouth. Again, you letting Tasha K push those buttons. If Quavo ain't saying nothing and Offset ain't saying nothing,
well, she's a big mouth. You know,
don't
Cardi
say nothing. And I like Cardi.
Didn't they have back and forth with her and Nicki Minaj?
Yes, it's always back and forth with her. And you know, Nicki Minaj fans jumped all on this because it's anything that deals with Cardi B, they gonna jump on. You right, Tasha. Whatever. She wrong. She need to leave that man alone about how he grieved and all this other stuff.
That man wasn't grieving because he didn't know his dad had passed. How he gonna grieve?
So the whole thing with the Cardi B and the grandson. Now this stepson, I keep saying grandson. This stepson, he was a trip. It said, well, he now deleted some of his tweets, I guess. But Cardi B hit back on the stepson. I told you she had posted about what he did. Well, he came back and said he didn't even talk about the fact mainly about her making a comment. He talked about her, like, aren't you a failing artist and this and that. Now, what does that have to do with her saying about you grieving? I would think you would only respond back and say, well, you know what, that's how different people grieve. Why would you come back and clap back and say you were
going back to her artistry?
You a no good art, whatever. Aren't you washed up or whatever? So Cardi B has hit back at the stepson of the missing British billionaire aboard the Titanic submarine. Well, he ain't missing no more. We know what happened to them. Brian Sazas, whatever his name is, was hit with backlash from the rapper and others for attending a concert the day after his stepfather went missing on the Titan. Submersible. I guess they don't call it a submarine anymore. And asked for an OnlyFans model to sit on his face. So he hit on some OnlyFans page and asked her to sit on his face. He was just acting all up on the internet. While his father down there struggling, stepdad,
which could mean why.
After Brian branded her a complete B, before deleting his entire Twitter account, Cardi responded by claiming he's been looking for clout and branded him desensitized. Now,
why did he remove his account?
Well, he got Cardi's fans. They
probably threatened.
They's like, who you think you are? You don't talk to
our, how rich you are, how your dad, stepfather, whoever he is.
And Cardi wrote, the point was the whole world is praying for these people in the submarine, and this son is online shaking his D for girls and OnlyFans and going to Blink 182 concerts. You was looking for clout all along. Nobody knew who you were until you said that about your stepdad. This is why people hate you spoiled brat billionaires. Y'all so desensitized. So she pretty much said, I'd rather be poor than to have a kid like you.
Thank you. Pretty much. He gonna come at her.
But
why he all rich and stuff removed his account?
Well, because he got backlash. But here's the funny thing about it. After he got the backlash and everybody attacked him, people was torn on two sides of this. Some people was like, you don't tell people how to grieve. People grieve different ways. Maybe that was his way. He had tickets to the concert. You expect him to stay home, crawled up in a ball, his whole white.
I'm saying that's his stepdad. Who's to say the relationship?
Well, that was the other thing. People say you don't know the relationship. You don't know if he's close to him or whatever. And then some people were saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't look right for anybody in the family, and all those families out partying or whatever. Mm-hmm. Why it is different.
They down how many feet under the water?
And it's different if you found out that he had passed. You thinking he down there suffering, like he can't breathe, and he,
we're all waiting.
You're waiting to hear, right?
And while you're waiting,
yes. And DJ Envy said, if not for him, what about the mom? If he's not close to the dad, maybe just be there for your mom and
be respectful. That's your mom's husband.
So different people had different things. Mm-hmm. My take on it is, I don't care if you go to a concert. You didn't have to post it. See, everybody posts everything on social media.
They go, everything they say, everything they do, they gonna get backlash.
And God forbid anything happen to us, and I post me out at some concert, all of y'all people will be under my thing going, I'm sitting up here crying and asking God to bring you through. And you sitting up there at a Janet Jackson concert.
My sister would have wanted me to enjoy myself.
Which could be true. And that could be my coping mechanism, right? Uh-huh. But why am I posting that I'm at a Janet Jackson concert?
Because
nobody has to know that.
You know what? That's the big question of the whole century is people gonna post. They love to post.
And if you post, expect people to make comments.
Yeah, the freedom of speech will go on and on until the end of the world.
Yes.
It may be the good speech, it may be bad.
Yes.
And he got bad.
Well, he got bad. So he came back on. Go ahead.
But the thing that you were saying, I don't have a problem with freedom of speech because, like, even the Ku Klux Klan can get on and do they crazy,
right? And
any other group that's against other races. I know it's mean and evil, but it's freedom of speech,
right?
We don't have to be in Russia where you may be die or something because of something you said,
right?
Whether it was positive or not. But what you got me is when he came back and made a comment about her career.
Exactly, which had nothing to do with it.
He could have just said, it's none of your business that I'm out here having fun.
Right.
Why don't you mind your own family and don't worry about me? But no, you got to go and say your career is this and that.
So then after not only Cardi B got on him, but he was getting a ton of backlash. He came back almost crying. I can't get on a flight. I don't have a passport, he admitted. He said he watched the news for 2 days straight and went to the Blink 182 concert for a quick 2-hour break for relief and was just nodding his head. He was like, I wasn't partying and stuff. I was just nodding my head. The submarine is stuck at the damn Titanic. There's nothing I can do for this situation at all, he said. Initially, he asked his followers to continue to think of his family on Wednesday morning, writing, please keep my family in prayers. But he was quickly mocked online for making a pass at an OnlyFans star. Then he went on to say, first of all, that's a friend of mine. I know who she is in real life. And we joke at each other all the time. So when I told her to sit on my face, I was joking with her. And she understands. She has a sense of humor. Now, see, he wouldn't have had to do all of that.
You didn't know your business.
Had he not posted.
Now you got to explain yourself. I did this because of this.
So, okay. I believe what Cardi said. He was looking for clout. He probably thought people was gonna go sympathy underneath that thing about him being at the Blink 182. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's your stepdad that's down there. Oh, you a star. Because he's a star, I guess, because he's trapped in a boat. Now you're a star. Mm-hmm. So
we know your stepfather. Now
yeah.
We know you.
All right. So that's the end of that one.
But I do get her point. I know you know what, people need to, I get it on both sides. Uh-huh. But understand, when you say people need to mind their own business, no.
Not if you put it out there.
The moment you post. Yep. Is everybody's business. And don't get mad when you get backlash.
Exactly. Either say something back, like I do, or delete it. Do whatever you want to do and move on.
Okay.
Now let's talk about this thing, because I'm so sick of hearing about this submarine, submersible, whatever it's called.
It's not a submarine.
It's not a submarine. Mike says it's not a submarine because it cannot leave port and return on its own power. That's what a submarine can do.
Shouldn't they have had a submarine?
Girl, these people with this.
That's another question, Mike. Maybe you can answer. He's a billionaire. Now,
a billionaire.
Mike said he was military, right?
He said he wouldn't get in one.
How much are those submarines cost?
A lot.
You think the billionaire can afford one?
Well, here's the thing.
A real one?
Yeah.
That was probably used in war.
Here's the thing. I heard the story. I listened to the story. It didn't move me like how it moved a lot of people.
What do you mean move you?
Like some people was waiting on pins and needles, and they was really into this story.
Well, I was really hoping that they found him. I really wanted a miracle.
That's fine.
I was praying for a miracle.
But this thing,
and that would have been really beautiful because people would have went,
This thing was getting too much. You know how the media give you so much attention to where you start getting tired.
You're tired of it.
I was tired.
Now you don't care anymore.
I was like, okay, well, what we got? An hour left for this.
But you know what? When I first heard about it, I did understand.
In the beginning,
I understand the billionaire being on there and the few people. I found out how much each one of them was paying. I think as I found out,
$250,000.
I said, "Wow, that's a lot of money."
When there's people who don't have nothing.
I think for me, I was really frustrated that so much money
went into a stupid plan.
You can still be idiotic in which you put the money into.
$1 million into a submersible.
I'm always hearing,
with a Game Boy PlayStation thing. The movie.
That's no reason to. I'm sitting here going, you hear about scientists, you hear about people who have walked the moon, our space people, building the equipment to take you to a moon, you building a plane. Some people have built, the Wright brothers building a plane on their own, and they practiced it.
Or my thing
Are we not so behind it with our minds? What is the word I'm looking for? Where you could have created
or
something that was more.
Or you go down there, is it some kind of way going to help humanity? Like, what is this doing?
But I don't care. I know what you're saying, and I'm not looking at it. I'm going on the other side that it is a pleasure trip, like Elon Musk going to the moon.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of going to? I just want to see it for myself.
Right.
But I was just saying, with so much money that we hear about what things cost and building something, why couldn't they have waited till something was really
together? If you're gonna spend that amount of money,
I can see if they were not rich.
Right, these are rich people.
Like, they didn't have no money to build something. This is a billionaire,
and
that's what made me angry.
And the other thing that made me upset about this whole thing with this submersible. People was online making jokes. Okay, I got it.
They were?
Oh, yeah. It was a lot of Twitter and all that was going. They was making so many jokes about these people. So you had the people that was online making jokes.
Calling them donkey of the day, too.
Yeah. And you had the other people mad that people was online making fun about the people.
Exactly.
Both sides are ridiculous to me.
Exactly.
For you to sit and make fun of people suffering at the bottom of the ocean is ridiculous.
Well, we've gotten to that. Remember, I told you, for some reason, I have a feeling that we're going to go back to the gladiator days.
Well, people can watch people get
people
killed
in prison.
Yeah.
They won't have they'll have a life sentence.
Yeah.
And we will let them go out it like the gladiators.
Yeah,
and they'll fight each other. Yeah. And they'll throw a lion out there.
And they want to see them get devoured.
And we sit there going, his arm went off.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't care.
They don't care
People
no
don't
more.
value life like how we used to.
They don't.
And then on the other side, for you to get upset that people are making fun of 5 rich people at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't see you getting upset about other real life stuff that can actually affect your life.
Oh my gosh.
You spend your time posting about, oh, y'all just on here making fun of these rich white people. But I don't see your same energy about real things that happen to you as a human being.
We talked yesterday about, what's the guy's name with the YouTube station? Andrew.
Oh, Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. People should have been outraged about if he was allegedly charged for trafficking.
Yeah.
Anytime you are trafficking women, young girls, that should be like,
but they not mad. They not mad about.
Don't talk about these 5 men underneath the sea.
They not. I don't see that same energy with the friends that beat up Shanquilla Robinson and left her in Mexico.
Oh, that's just mean. They just
but there's
beat
5 rich white people at the bottom of the sea.
Don't tease
really
them.
set you off.
Don't tease them. That's not funny. That's not funny.
That
they went down there.
Now
they were
we all agree. It's not funny.
It's not.
It doesn't merit me making a post on my YouTube or Facebook about people making fun of them.
Yeah.
Just say it's not funny and move on.
Move on.
Why are you so upset?
I know.
You act like you and their family or something.
Okay.
I can see they family members. Mm-hmm. That's not funny. That's my family member.
Yeah.
That's at the bottom of that ocean.
My cousin, my uncle, my brother. So they would be the ones you would definitely be going, right? Definitely be okay with.
So
that's not fun. You're laughing at my family members.
Both sides are losers.
Yeah.
The ones making fun of them are losers, and the ones who are mad at the ones making fun of them are losers.
Always.
That just gets your blood crawling, making fun of those rich white people at the bottom of the ocean.
Right. But
that sets you off.
But all this to say, as Christians,
you should be praying for anybody.
Christ-like. Our hearts is going out to the families.
It doesn't matter whether they're rich or not.
When my mom told me today, the result of not so much that they located them and they were unfortunately not alive. They said that the actual vehicle went down.
It imploded.
And I'm like, oh my God, it's like the actual equipment they were in tore apart or something.
And which
that even concerned me more. I'm like, oh Lord.
So here's the thing. They're no different than people who climb Mount Rushmore and end up starving to death or freezing to death on top of the mountain.
Yeah,
How are they any different? They wanted a thrill. Yeah. They paid for it. Yeah. They took the risk. And there you go. Yeah. That's it. And it's sad. It's sad. We pray for the family. Mm-hmm. Nobody should suffer that loss. But that doesn't get my blood boiling for some of the other people on the other side. So you're right. It imploded. That's what and they would have had to call off the search anyway because they didn't have enough oxygen after this morning.
I'm just telling you, with the millions of dollars that was in that thing, that's a very expensive.
And imagine how much money they spent looking for it. Every country was looking for this dang on thing.
They're going to have to build the billionaire's family.
They ain't going to build them.
They can't.
Each country going to pay for that.
Well,
we're going to pay for it, and every other Canada's going to pay for it.
Money should pay for the fact that they went down there. They risked their lives, but they didn't use common sense to me.
They're not going to pay for
the best engineers, the best. They could have used even an old submarine that our Navy or military is not using anymore.
It says the tail cone and other debris from the missing submersible were found by a remotely operated vehicle. Gee, you think a remote, an AI. A robot.
I will go down.
That's gonna be the future.
If there's life down there, I will go down.
Billionaire John Smith is at the bottom of the Atlantic. Mm-hmm. Do we have a robot that can go? I am Mr. Smith's personal robot. I will plunge 30,000 feet and pull these. It'll be at that time. It'll be a real submarine. Pull the submarine up and free Mr. Smith. He is a billionaire. He has made sure that he has put money into me, and I will go down and get him.
Make sure that he's okay. But
not send our people to go down there and get him, because that's how many people died rescuing people on Mount Everest and stuff.
But you know what? There's a lot of people who are probably having kids that are very wise and intelligent. They're gonna be really good scientists, really good. In the whole what is it that the stream and STEM and STEAM
Mhm.
projects. I look at this billionaire. I look at Elon Musk,
Mhm.
and I thought about it. Elon Musk is a billionaire too, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things,
One of the richest.
one of the richest. One of the things that Whoopi Goldberg was saying on her show, she drives one of the cars that
Yeah.
he has created.
Yeah, Tesla.
She said Tesla. She's saying Tesla. As rich as he is, you would think any product that you put out there, you will have in places where people can go and get it repaired.
No, they don't.
And she said, a rich man.
Yeah.
So you're wondering now with this rich man who has gone down all that feet of water, what is the money for in these guys' lives if they're not using their heads?
Well, I told you that billionaire.
That's a good science.
A billionaire doesn't mean that you're the smartest person in the
No,
world.
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying.
You would buy a smart person to do it for you.
Because a lot of them feel like they know everything. I told you when Elon... Narcissistic. I told you when Elon had that car and said it was bulletproof. And you gave the guy the brick, and the guy threw the brick, and it went right through the window.
But wouldn't you think as a
he said, we'll take care of that too.
To me, then that's narcissist behavior, because you would think as a billionaire, you would hire the most. Oh my, you would pull them from other countries if you have to.
Well, anyway, they found the debris on all this stuff, and so they've realized that these people are gone. Okay. They couldn't have survived that.
That's sad.
And so we're done with it. I hope we're done with this story. I don't want to hear anything about.
They're going to talk about.
I don't want to hear anything about this submersible.
No, you're not gonna. You're gonna keep hearing. I'm sorry.
I'm so tired of hearing about it.
Until they find the pieces. Until they can bring closure to the families, because these are families.
Unless they find something really big, I'm not going to talk about it again.
Oh, so, no, not on our show.
Unless it's something major that they find out. I'm not going to do a story every day about each family member. Yeah. Now, if it's something they find that's big or different or whatever, we'll report on it.
Okay.
Mike says, Wendy says, hey, stars.
Hey,
Wendy. M. Perk says, Wendy, my mother says she loves the shirt. It has her favorite, one of her favorite scriptures.
Every day
she uses the scripture to help her get up and all that other stuff. Okay. M. Perk says, she's like, gotta move on.
You know what?
You say she uses the scripture, helps her get on. All right,
whatever.
God is great. All right, whatever. All right, M says, let's say they can start at $5 billion, probably for money or something to get this done. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Mike says the ocean is huge and deep and dangerous. Those professionals doing the search knew they had perished days ago, but didn't want to say it. They couldn't say it. M Perk says it was a rich man's toy. And I agree with that, because there was a scientist I saw the other day who said the thing imploded. He said there's no way you can go down there that long and just sit and think you're going to breathe in oxygen for days. He said it had imploded days ago.
But that's why I was saying, why didn't they have not used a real submarine to do this job? Right.
Yeah, the make of that thing, he said, wouldn't have lasted down there that long. Yeah, it wouldn't have lasted. M. Perk says it was a rich man's toy. And he said, you mean purge, right? Purge night. Maybe they bring back purge. They'll have a purge night. When you're saying people don't care about people's lives and stuff.
Oh my God.
Instead of Gladiator, the purge would be for real.
I'd rather do the Gladiator.
Yeah, I know. Well, purge all of us.
They may hurt us too.
M. Perk says it was not a robot. It was controlled by Jimmy with his Xbox controller. Yeah, that's the guy on the end. He was so happy to have that controller and say that he could control this thing. $250,000
Don't we at least
person.
For car when we're testing a car, and if an accident, they have test dummies?
Can you imagine?
Couldn't they just do
that's what I'm saying.
Test dummies to go down there first.
Thank you.
And see if it works. And if it don't work, then you're like, oh, we're not gonna go yet until I fix it.
And again, I told you I disagree with you.
What?
There was no reason. If you was able to get out of it and put on a suit and go inside the intricate parts of the Titanic, then I could see a person saying, okay, this has some merit to it. I'm paying $250,000. I'm going down in a submarine. It's going to park next to the Titanic. We're going to put on those suits
you need.
And we're going to literally go into the Titanic.
You're doing what they do on the moon.
Yes.
Deep in the water.
Yes.
We bouncing.
I'm able to put my foot out of something.
It's floating.
Yes.
And we got our lights and we're looking at the craters in the moon.
Yes. Now maybe I have to be attached to the spaceship So I
don't go too far out.
Or it only let me go 5 feet or something, whatever.
And bring me back.
That I understand.
And then you refill with oxygen because you're so
But
deep.
yesterday when we was talking about it and I said I disagree, it's not, you're literally.
You don't think the exploring this.
You're not exploring anything. You're literally sitting in a box and it ain't even, they said it wasn't even windows. You looking at a peep thing like this. Well, what?
I don't know.
You can do that with a machine.
But they said a number of people have gone down there.
I know.
And saw the wreckage. So why were they able to get down there? And these knuckleheads.
Well, this was a mistake, I guess.
I didn't mean to say knuckleheads because they're all
and
passed
see,
away
you never
now.
know. Like they said, the sea is unforgiving.
Sorry.
A tide could come. Some sea monster that we don't even know about could come.
We haven't explored down there.
Some people believe aliens is down there. Demons. Anything could be down there.
Be down there. You're right. Okay.
You know how many people have died in the sea? Their spirits and everything is in that sea. They threw Africans over the boat on the trip here
from Africa.
They could have been down there like, you're not leaving. You staying right down here with us. The people from the Titanic could have their spirits. What are you looking at?
No,
you're staying down here with us.
I pray the spirits are not hanging around in the water.
We don't know. How do you know?
I don't know. I just pray that they're not.
They hang out up here.
Be in the spirit realm like they should.
They hang out up here. Why would they not be in the water?
If they don't have to bother anybody, because usually they try to bother human beings.
We don't know.
Okay.
He could have been using.
Why would I spend time as a demon or a fallen angel? He could have
been using his remote control.
I'm going on Earth where I can bother man.
He could have been using his Xbox remote control, and some spirit looked through the window and shocked him, and then he didn't mess up everybody.
What's that show where he saw the thing on the plane?
Oh,
Twilight Zone.
It's like Twilight Zone. Okay. So we don't know. Nobody knows what happened down there. And watch, they'll have a movie out. Yeah. Nobody knows what happened, but it'll be a 2-hour movie about their ordeal and what happened with them talking inside this thing and then it exploding. Yeah. And nobody knows.
I'm still waiting on the movie for Brittany.
Brittany,
what's her name?
Oh, Brittany Griner?
Yeah, Brittany Griner.
Oh, that's going to be a movie.
We're still waiting on that documentary or movie, whatever.
Now, CNN posted an article. Hundreds of Pakistanians dead in Mediterranean migrant boat disaster. Now, we didn't hear nothing about you didn't hear nothing about it, did you?
No.
Guess why you didn't hear anything about it? Because all we heard about was this 5-person submersible that went down. You didn't hear nothing else about anybody else passing away at sea, did you?
What happened here?
More than 300 Pakistani nationals have been killed in sinking of an overcrowded fishing trawler off the coast of Greece. The latest tragedy to expose the refugee crisis that's confronting the European Union as tens of thousands seek sanctuary from war, persecution, and poverty. The chairman of the Pakistan Senate, Mohammed Sadiq, disclosed the number in a statement Sunday, sending condolences to the grieving families of the dead. Over 300. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we pray that the departed souls find eternal peace. Now, a week ago, it was 650 million that perished at sea in a boat that went down.
What do you mean that number?
That was on here too. It's all these numbers.
We don't never hear about these boats that are taking these migrants to other countries.
So then somebody on Facebook was upset about people making fun of the submersible people.
Yeah.
The 5 submersible people and said, don't you guys have a heart or whatever? I'm paraphrasing. So I wrote under his comment, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. But I also want to bring to everybody's attention, it's really not in the news, about these hundreds and hundreds of people that are dying on boats trying to flee their country from war.
Right.
And poverty.
I don't think, unless we're catching it on the news, a lot of people probably don't realize that they are going to other countries as well. We're always focused on our country. Let them in. Don't let them in. Let them in. Don't let them in.
Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Did I say 600? About 750 men, women, and children were on the packed boat when it capsized last week.
Wow. And where were they going?
This was, which boat was this one?
That's sad. That's a lot of people that died into sea.
I know. Every year, tens of thousands of migrants fleeing war and persecution and poverty risk the treacherous routes to Europe.
So they were going to Europe. Remember we had the issue with the Cubans?
Yes.
And the little boy that got caught over here and had the back and forth with him. But people were always taking a chance because think about this. And a lot of us, we too weak to even probably think about it and do it ourselves. If for you to take a risk on some boat or some kind of thing to get you from one
you're trying to get out of there.
You are truly going through some suffering.
Yes.
Because you're like, I'm going to take a risk.
Yep.
And be on this water. Yep. This boat may break down, but I don't care because where I'm coming from is worse.
Now, NBC News says a tale of two disasters. Those were two. Missing Titanic sub captivates the world days after a deadly migrant shipwreck. Nobody talked about it.
Nobody said it.
So anyway, I said this comment on this guy's Facebook page who was talking about being outraged about people making fun of these 5 rich people who went down under the ground. Just really made his blood boil. Mm-hmm. And he had the nerve to say, it's getting attention. You just read it from the New York Post. Okay. So now we having a stupid conversation. Remember I told you I don't like dumb conversations? Mm-hmm. If you are saying that me telling people that you didn't even know about this.
I didn't know.
Is the same equivalent to this stupid submarine or whatever this was. Submerged. You are a moron.
It's not the same level of news.
Your response should have been, oh, wow, that's horrible news. Like, I'm so glad you brought that to my attention.
Or, yes, you're right. I do know about the migrant boat. But yes, it does need to be.
The press is not the same.
It's not the same, unfortunately. You are right about that. But no, he had to make a little smart mouth comment.
Oh, it's getting press. You saw it on the New York Times. It's getting press. Over 600 people one week. The next week, 750 million.
But what did we say?
100.
But what did we say earlier? People don't care no more.
They don't care.
People don't care about those migrants. They're happy that they're not coming here.
And this is NBC saying this. It's a horrifying and disgusting contrast. Associate Director for Human Rights Watch Europe and Central Asian Division said in a telephone interview, reflecting on the apparent disparity in resources and media attention on 2 different crises. Where was the boats from all these countries to get those hundreds, thousands of people drowning in the middle of the ocean?
How much do they spend to try to get the 5 people? Other countries even jumped in to save that little so-called submarine.
And what was the media coverage?
These people didn't care about these people.
They didn't care. They didn't care.
They're coming from another country. They're illegal.
These 5 people are billionaires.
We got to care about the money.
We got to care about the people who got money.
People who got money.
They mean more to us than they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're going to get more media attention.
Exactly.
They're going to get more resources. Mm-hmm. Where's the condolences to these thousands of families that lost their relatives?
So thank you for telling me that, because that makes me see now that we need to be more
on our media.
Yes.
And on our resources.
They show what they want to show. I'm kind of going back to what Trump said. The media is fake.
Yeah.
It tells what it wants to tell.
And hides what it wants to hide.
It wants you to think a certain way, so
they
only
does
show
too.
This story.
That's why I hate the fact that he's
utilizing the media.
He's a horrible person to make a good point.
I know.
Because he does the same thing. He uses the media.
So he knows light tracks light.
Exactly.
We alike.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell y'all dirtiness because I want y'all to be dirty, because I'm not.
But I just thought that was interesting. And I like the fact that NBC wrote an article on that.
I'm glad they did.
Even though it's NBC online.
A lot of times, too,
it's never NBC on the TV.
Mama, I was telling Kim, I said a lot of times, too, you hear about this news on 700 Club.
Right.
Other things. It's not just people talking about Christ.
Right.
Oh, and in Zimbabwe, this man was a missionary.
Right.
It's also news like this.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll share a boat of so-and-so people, immigrants was going somewhere, and they passed away. They also do it to keep your prayers for these families. There's people in other countries that are not being safe and they want to flee. And you almost got to be always on the clock praying, because it's not just for yourself, your family, and your country. You praying for others in other countries that are going through some hardships too.
Yes.
So
I decided to say that because I didn't want to just be one of the people, because we did report on that sub, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, we did.
Submersible. But I also want to report that there were thousands of other people who died the same week.
Yeah, same week, not the same waters, but still water.
But nobody talked about it.
Nobody said
I'm sorry. The New York Times online said something. That's what that moron said on his Facebook.
Okay.
All right.
Next. Speaking of morons.
What is yours?
Oh, well, speaking that we don't want to be morons. Mm-hmm. The View talked about, one of their topics today was about our Supreme Court and the different judges. We all got, a lot of us got a problem with Clarence. And we know Clarence Thomas. He got the ball rolling with his mom's house being paid for, his nephew's college being paid. Think about this. This is the very top of our legal system. It's our judges.
Our Supreme Court judges.
Hey, judge, you want me to buy your trip to Hawaii?
Thank you.
And you scratch my back,
and I scratch yours.
How does that look?
Yeah.
And we really need to put something in place for them to go, checklist, no, you can't receive any gifts that's over $50.
How come they don't already have it?
Sonny said that, what's the new black judge that was just entered in?
Okay.
Her and the Hispanic one, I think. If I got the names wrong, I'm sorry. But two of the judges took her out to lunch.
Okay.
They didn't let Sonny pay for it.
Okay.
They paid for it themselves.
Okay.
You're supposed to write down.
Right.
If somebody bought you something,
yes,
write it down.
Yep.
So-and-so bought me she wanted me to relax, and she bought me a trip, and they probably need to start putting on paper the criteria, the do's and don'ts as Supreme Court judges.
I agree.
Play this one. This is this particular judge.
Okay.
Senator Dick Durbin on Justice Alito was having a whole conversation. And I don't know exactly what happened, because you see, we're in, what week is this?
Of what, the
50
year?
days, 51 days. This is the 51st day with no writers.
Oh.
So everything is still discombobulated, trying to figure out where things are.
They need to solve this.
Not just for us, but because they need to solve it, because the writers need to go back to work.
Because they're losing money.
They're losing money, and folks can't afford to be out, but they do have a point, and so they're working towards it. So we always have our fingers crossed that everybody will get what they need, so we can go back to kind of normal, right? Okay. So there is a clip of Senator Dick Durbin on Justice Alito. So let's take a look at it.
It appears that there is a feeling in the Supreme Court that it's none of our business. The public doesn't need to know when these conflicts of interest occur. And the justices don't need to recuse themselves from critical decisions that are worth billions of dollars from the people who are befriending them on their vacations. That's got to come to an end. And there's one person who can end it before the sun sets today, and that's Chief Justice John Roberts. It's time for him to step up and announce there will be a code of ethics for the Supreme Court, and the disclosure laws will apply, and that they'll follow at least the same rules as every other federal judge in America.
So what is he talking about? First, it was Clarence Thomas's mama who got a house from some billion.
Yeah, we know that. He's not going to do it.
But here's the thing: if they keep pushing and get the public in, like you were saying, how outraged we are when people die and stuff.
Thank you.
I get outraged when I hear about a Supreme Court judge getting a house paid for his mama.
Thank you.
Or his nephew's school paid for. Clarence Thomas, you need to be ashamed of yourself, and all the judges that are doing this. I remember at my job, they would cut us as far as cut the amount that we can only receive from some of our vendors, our printers. It was lavish gifts. People would send me wine and stuff I don't even drink. Cadaver candy, trips to the baseball games and stuff. That little letter went out from our CEO saying $50 and below. We couldn't get anything over $50. I was like, oh no, those cupcakes.
Because it really, and you can't blame them.
These are judges.
Right, but I'm saying the person paying, because you feel like, shoot, if I could get in some kind of good way, I'm going to try. It's the person receiving that should be like, no, I can't.
And they need to report it. I think in Clarence's comments, they said he was listening to his colleagues as far as reporting it or not reporting it. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But Sarah brought up a good point too. She said one of the things that concerns her, hopefully this does happen.
Mhm.
They do put something in place.
Mhm.
But she was concerned with the Senate floors and everybody else who's got NRA in their pockets, other corporations in their pockets when they're running, because scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah, that's how it
what
is.
you need me to do? You need me to make some changes?
That's
and
politics.
Stuff? No, it's dirty
I
politics,
agree.
and we need some checks and balances.
I agree.
But that was one of the things I wanted to share, because be prayerful, you guys, because the Word of God even says pray for those who have leadership over us. So that's our courts, our judges, our politicians.
Your pastor.
Yeah, pastors. Everybody has leadership. Your boss at your company, your job.
Boss.
So I'm just wanted to throw that
Who
out
all
there.
of them have favoritism from different reasons.
Yeah, they're flesh. They're human.
But a judge, it's like you at the highest point.
Yes.
You should have a code of ethics like everybody else.
Yes.
What makes you different than everybody else?
Thank you. I think I would want one if I was a judge.
I would want one.
I want checks and balances so y'all can know I'm being transparent.
And I don't want anybody ever calling into question my judgment.
Yes.
I don't want people to say, well, you only did that because he bought you out or whatever.
He bought you a trip to Hawaii.
But that means they don't care.
No, they
don't care.
They need to. Somebody need to keep that fire lit up under them.
Well, who? See?
I don't know. Like Dick Durbin.
Well, we'll see.
He's one of my favorite guys. I like Dick.
It has to. You like Dick?
I like Dick Durbin.
No, you like Dick.
Y'all didn't hear that come out that way. Dick Durbin. Richard.
Now somebody clip that and then have you saying that over and over
Oh
again.
my God, they would be. What is those little things that they say when they do it over and over?
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna clip what you said and have you saying it over and over again on Twitter.
Oh no.
That hairstyle saying that word, and you're gonna be like, where did this come from?
Oh,
when you
I
was
know
on
when I
our
made
show
that
and you
comment.
said that.
Okay. Oh Lord, don't give them no ideals. Durbin. Senator Durbin.
I like butt. I mean pork butt. I like pork butt. I was talking about pork butt and shoulders. I wasn't talking about just anybody's butt. Too late. We didn't clip that. You saying that.
All
right.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, speaking of people just saying whatever's on their mind.
Oh. This not news.
Oh, what's her name? Azalea Banks. The girls are fighting. The girls. She's a rapper who gets on everybody's nerves. The girls are fighting.
And they both Republicans?
2 bobbleheads.
Okay.
2 bobbleheads. 2 Trumpsters.
Yeah.
2 MAGA people. 2 morons.
Marjorie's mad at Lauren because she felt she stole her.
We want to impeach Biden.
Impeach Biden.
And I wrote up the thing to impeach him.
Yeah.
And you wrote up the thing to impeach him.
You took
but
my
Marjorie,
notes.
Marjorie says I wrote mine first. So for you to come up here and try to put your little stupid thing up there means that, what's going on with this?
I don't know.
Means that you are trying to shun me. You're trying to get the credit.
She called it a B word.
She called it a B
They
word.
was talking about it on the floor.
They were on the floor arguing. I'm so glad they
Take
wasn't
your
black.
conversation to the back.
If they was black, everybody in there would be like, yeah, you can't take them nowhere.
Thank you.
No.
Y'all acting up.
2 white ladies on the floor arguing out loud.
But everybody argues with Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's nothing new.
Anyway, the guy kept, you just have to keep doing, I don't know what's going on. The guy kept saying, and everybody, we need a decorum in the room. Remember somebody was up there a few weeks ago doing the same thing? It was Marjorie, remember? She had the gavel and she was looking for decorum.
Right.
She kept hitting the table.
Nobody was listening.
And nobody was listening.
Still talking.
But yet she wants to be up there arguing with Lauren Boebert, whatever her name is.
Uh-huh.
And no, they're not listening.
Thank you. Marjorie has always been hypocritical. Half the things that she says and does, she'll fuss about it, scream about it, and then go do it herself.
A little bitch on the House floor. Mm-hmm. Then they went after the thing and said, well, how do you guys feel about each other? You know, with this whole thing. Mm-hmm. And Lauren, she's supposed to be the Christian. She says her thing to impeach Biden, her resolution. These are resolutions. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Her resolution to impeach Biden is Christ driven. God woke her up in the middle of the night.
Are you for real, Kim?
I'm not lying.
Oh my!
And
God.
he gave this to her, and she wrote it down on a piece of paper like Moses.
Wow.
And God sent her. Now I'm paraphrasing. I've been paraphrasing. God sent her into that chamber to put this resolution, handwritten by God, like the 10 Commandments. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for it to come back again.
Like the 10 Commandments. And there's no way Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to stand in front of God's word.
But she called her B.
And they said, Marjorie, I'm paraphrasing.
Did God prepare you for that?
I'm paraphrasing. Marjorie, Lauren said God gave her resolution and that it came from his written word and what he wanted them it to say.
Verbatim. And
she called her a B. Like, I don't give a dang on thing.
Who told you that?
Now, these are all Christians, right? These are Sadducees and Pharisees fighting against each other. That's how I look at them.
Well, the Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't get along.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But both of them, that's the funny thing about it.
One is a Pharisees and one is a Sadducee.
But they came together to try to get rid of Jesus.
Which is Biden. Well, Biden is not Jesus.
Let's get rid of Biden together.
But we want to get rid of Biden, but we fighting on how to do it.
The Pharisees are like, we're first.
But both of them supposedly know God.
Yeah.
Lauren talks to God like Moses on the Mount Sinai and gets her resolutions handwritten.
Like those tablets.
From God. And Marjorie she just knows she's doing the righteous thing. It wasn't handwritten by God like Lauren.
Sorry, Marjorie. Yours don't count.
But it was first.
That's true. But no, yours was first, but still it wasn't written by God.
Yeah.
Because God's way it's clear.
So I think that Comover should intervene.
How he gonna do that?
He should come in and say which one should win. And that should be the one that's the resolution they should go for.
He ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't gonna touch this one. Can't touch this. These two ladies. But I didn't know Lauren went that route, that she actually heard from God. It was a spiritual.
She's on a spiritual journey. God told her, this is from God. And Marjorie's mad. She said, I already introduced articles of impeachment on Joe Biden for the border. Asked her to co-sponsor mine. I asked Lauren to co-sponsor mine, and she didn't.
Right, I remember her saying that. She
basically copied my articles and then introduced them.
But
they asked that, would y'all ever come together, be friends? Marjorie said, absolutely not.
You know
she's
what?
a B.
You need to keep everybody you can, Marjorie Taylor Greene, on your side, girl. You already got enemies on the other side.
They asked Lauren, could she go be friends with them? Of course. Because she's the Pharisee.
She's going to turn
God said to be friends and love everyone.
I must honor the commandments.
And our thing is against Joe Biden. It shouldn't be against each other.
Exactly. Well, Marjorie is showing her true color.
Asked about Greene's claims that she copied her resolution, Lauren said, I'm not in middle school.
She heard from God on hers, though.
I did not copy your paper. God gave me this.
Marjorie, the ideal was everybody's ideal to try to get rid of Biden.
No, but she said the wording is the same. Marjorie said she used her wording.
But Marjorie, you must understand, if Lauren says that was the word of God.
That means God copied you.
No, God wouldn't need to copy. God probably has the better way of saying it.
But she should be mad at God, not Lauren. Because God told Lauren to write that.
But I would just tread very lightly, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you can't lose your enemy. You can't lose your fellow colleagues.
Thank you.
And you are making all of them mad too.
Thank you.
So you're gonna be by yourself, girlfriend.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know what this thing is. Maybe if I close this.
Yeah, it's that page.
Oh, you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Girl,
this story reminds me of Jonah.
Ma, you need to listen to this story. Okay. A whale swallows 2 guys off the California coast. My mother said, oh my goodness.
Like Jonah.
I know.
My mother said, like Jonah.
Jonah and the whale was not no nursery school rhyme.
In a thrilling real life drama, reminisces, well, they said Finding Nemo. You know, they can't say the Bible. When a humpback whale almost swallows
Finding Nemo.
2 kayakers off the California coast. The kayakers swallowed.
Who took that picture?
Somebody took it.
Oh my God.
He swallowed them, and he spat them out. They walked away with extraordinary encounter with a tale they'll never forget.
But this looked like how did they go in the mouth with the long kayak that they're on? He probably thought that was food. He may have thought that was a fish.
Yeah. The 2 kayakers experienced an event of a lifetime, being nearly swallowed by a humpback whale. Julie McSorley, so one is a girl and Liz, these are 2 women, were enjoying a day of whale watching off the coast of Avila Beach, California, when a massive humpback suddenly engulfed their kayak. Miraculously, both women escaped the encounter unharmed, and the kayakers and nearby witnesses captured the surreal moment on video.
Wow. They're at the bottom of his mouth. They literally can go in there.
Yeah.
He can eat both of them like little sardines.
This heart-stopping incident parallels a memorable scene in the beloved animated Finding Nemo. In the movie, Marlin, a clownfish father on a mission to find his son, and Dory, his forgetful companion, are unwillingly swallowed by a whale. Much like the kayakers, the duo experience a moment of fear and uncertainty inside this mouth of the whale. However, in a twist of humor and fantasy, the whale communicates with Dory, and in a great act of generosity, he expels them safely out of his blowhole.
Wow. So they were in there for a moment.
They were in his mouth.
Like Jonah and the whale.
No, he was in the stomach.
And well, I'm just saying, like Jonah inside the whale. People think that was a nursery school story, and then some scientists say it's possible because of the size of a humpback whale or a whale itself. They said large fish.
Yeah.
They're assuming it was a whale.
It says humpbacks, these majestic creatures have faced significant challenges. Once hunted to the brink of extinction, the humpback whale population has partially recovered from a low around 5,000 in 1960s to approximately 135,000 today. They continue to face threats from entanglement in fishing gear, collisions with ships, and noise pollution. Now, remember we were talking about zoos and how we don't like zoos and stuff? This is one of the things that zoos and like SeaWorld and them, they're probably one of the reasons why that number is going back up, because they do have some in captivity, but they study them and all that, and then they try to help the ones that's in the wild. That's the only reason why I would give a zoo or SeaWorld or any of them,
but if they
but
if they stand with them for a long time,
but the ones that are in captivity die there. But they help the ones in the wild. And it's almost like you got to capture something to help the rest of them. But
yeah, that's true.
I don't like the zoos and all of that and SeaWorld, but if they helping to increase these numbers, then, it is what it is.
It's for the good.
Now, this made me think when we went whale watching. And those whales do come popping up out of that ocean, and you on a small boat.
Your boat may be right next to where they
That's
pop
what I'm
up.
thinking. What if they mistakenly come up and hit your boat?
Yeah. I wonder, can they see though? They can see you.
My mother said they flip their tails up a lot too.
They come up. They can see you underneath. That's why they always come up next to you.
What you mean?
Usually, you always hear them coming up right next to you because they can see you probably as a.
Oh.
They can see it. Maybe, who knows? But
okay.
this one, how did that happen?
That's what I'm talking about.
This picture, they gonna put that on their wall.
Thank you.
That's gonna be framed. Oh gosh.
So what'd you say, Mom? My mother always tell that joke.
Stupid joke.
Didn't we tell this already?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We were sitting in Hawaii on the cruise ship. We had went whale watching the whole morning and enjoyed the whale watching. Mm-hmm. And it was nighttime. We were sitting in our room and we had
a patio cruise.
We have a patio cruise where we can open the door and listen and everything. And it was so quiet and peaceful.
Water. It was so peaceful.
It was peaceful and quiet and it was dark.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and we was all just talking, watching and I
TV.
said,
"We watching TV."
And I said, "I wonder what the whales are doing," because we had seen them all day.
Yeah.
And my mother said, "Well, I don't know what the ones out there are, but the one in here is watching television."
I said that was probably my mom's best joke. We peed on ourselves laughing. I don't know what they're doing out there,
But the one in here
is watching TV.
thought that was her best joke.
My mom, she tries.
So every time I see a whale story or whatever, I think about that dumb joke.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
But this is, my God, this is powerful.
It's powerful.
Go ahead.
All right. So today.
A TikTok.
Oh yeah.
You had seen it.
No, I haven't seen this. We try to do a funny TikTok every day, and so far we've had a couple. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was which one? The man getting baptized. That's when we got cut off.
The preacher been pulled up. We thought because we was laughing.
Maybe that's why
God was like.
So this is another one, right? When a preacher has a strong close. All right. TikTok.
When the preacher has a strong close. When the preacher has a strong close.
I ain't never seen no pulpit fall over the preacher.
Look at the guy coming to help him and he stops.
When the preacher has a strong close.
Oh, God.
And how come everybody still be praising God?
Well, they probably not looking or paying attention, or they figure he'd be okay. I ain't never seen no pulpit fall over the pastor. He go down with it. I had to laugh going, what this man doing?
The man is he preaching, and he leans back on his podium, and the whole podium falls on the man. And then he gonna pick the podium back up and say he's all right.
He's all right.
No, you're all right.
Oh,
we know God is all right.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness.
See, I told you right here. Somebody said the usher would have asked me to leave. Somebody said I would need the ushers and the white sheet. White sheet. I would have fell out. You see the guy from the back that came? He stopped.
He okay. Because he okay. He picked it back up. He probably would have came out had he stayed on the floor.
That is so embarrassing.
That is. He fell with it and kept on preaching. Okay. Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
My mother, I'm okay.
I'm okay. She'll fall down. I'm okay. I'm okay. But you just fell in your face.
When the preacher has a strong close.
You know what did it for him? His foot. You see his foot?
No.
Look at his foot. He pushed it. Look. Look at his foot.
Oh. Oh my God. And our pulpits at one of our ministries, it was the clear ones. You know, like Fred Price used to have it. It was clear, acrylic, and you could see through it. Because you can see everything. These are the old-fashioned wooden ones. Some of them are bigger than this.
I remember one time we were sitting in church. This is a multi-million-dollar church. Mm-hmm. Nice pulpit, like you said. Mm-hmm. I saw a mouse jump from flower basket to flower basket
on the stage
while he was preaching. And I sat and went, "Am I the only person that see this?"
Oh my God, I don't know.
Because I think the elders saw it, a few of them that sit on the stage, because they was like uncomfortable.
It jumped?
That mouse jumped from plant, because they had the plants all along the front.
Right, how they beautify the church.
He jumped from plant, you can see him.
Oh my God.
Which had to be a rat probably if he's that big.
Yeah.
He jumped
so
from
that was
plant
probably
to
a
plant.
rat then and not a mouse. Ooh, that's scary.
And I thought to myself, nobody see this. While he was preaching.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right. Well, Charlemagne is gone for the day. I mean, for the week.
For the week.
And they allowed the people to call in and give people donkey of the day. Mm-hmm. Today they actually gave the donkey of the day to the stepson of the man who went to the Blink 182 concert. Really? While his stepdad was suffering. Yeah? No. Oh. While his stepdad was suffering in the submersible.
That's who they gave the donkey.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm going to give it to this guy.
Okay.
Idaho man accused of killing 4 lost it after neighbor allegedly exposed himself to his family. Now, this guy, 31, said he snapped and lost it. before Kenneth, whatever, 65, and Kenny blank, whatever, 41, Devin Smith, 18, and Aiken Smith, 16, were killed. Apparently, the 16-year-old, or the 18, it's the young one of the young ones, was in his dressing room, in his bedroom, and this guy's daughters were playing in the backyard, and he exposed himself to them where they can see him.
Ooh.
So they went and told their dad. So the man went off. He went in over there, got in an argument with the father, I guess, and the grandfather, and he killed the whole family. He went back and got his gun, and then he came back and killed them at the door, went in the house, and then killed the 18-year-old and the 16-year-old. Come to find out, the one that had exposed himself had mental issues.
Oh.
He wasn't even he had mental problems.
He killed a whole family.
A whole family. Came back after he killed the whole family and gave his wallet and his phone to his wife or whatever and said, go ahead and keep this and tell them when they come get me or whatever, tell my kids that I did this to protect them.
He made it where they don't have their dad
You're a moron.
For the rest of their lives.
Why is everybody so quick to kill people?
I don't know.
What is going on in this world?
Back in the day, you used to get a beat down, and that was it.
The most I can see is him going there, maybe waiting on the young boy to come out and beat him up or whatever.
You gonna show yourself to my
But why
daughter.
would you go over there, argue with them, go home, get your gun, which means all this is premeditated.
Yes.
And then come back over. His wife said she thought he was going back over there to fight. She didn't think he was going over there to kill everybody in the house.
People like they getting happy with their guns. I was just like Wild Wild West.
That's what I was telling you. So how are you going to say anything about a gun if he legally has it?
Right. And then there's really nothing you can do when people got guns legally and they go off.
Thank you.
And what made him go off could be other things that led up into the fact that his daughters were exposed.
Thank you.
But wow.
Isn't that something?
4 people.
The whole family.
The whole family. And if he lives next door to him, did he not know one has a mental problem?
I guess not.
Those little girls probably like, oh, my dad.
Said he exposed himself to the suspect's wife and daughter, according to law enforcement documents.
Oh, this man's going to spend the rest of his life in jail, and he won't be in his daughter's lives. They got to visit him through a glass window. Oh, okay.
Why would you do that?
I don't even know. It's like, this has always been. This is not new.
On Sunday evening, Taylor and his wife got into an argument with the neighbor's mother over the alleged incident, and possibly that he would face no consequences. They got in an argument with the mom. Went back. She told authorities that she was standing near her husband when she heard gunfire and saw Kenneth and Kenny, both whom were unarmed, fall to the ground. Kylie Kyler said she then heard more gunfire from within the home, the affidavit said. Why did he kill her?
I don't know.
She was the one arguing in the first place. I guess he don't kill women, I guess.
They probably were the
Well,
ones
they
that
women.
exposed themselves.
No, it was a woman. The father and the grandfather didn't expose themselves. Maybe he didn't want to kill a woman.
Oh, I don't know.
Good old, But it says in the interview, Kyler said they asked him why he did it. He said he snapped and lost it over the dispute before he declined further comment and asked for his attorney.
Wow. He snapped. See, there's people who legally have guns. They just snap. You can't monitor that.
You can't monitor that.
He may have had an A15,
AR-15.
AR-15 and went and then did everything in the back, everybody in the neighborhood because he snapped. Oh, what would be the red flag for him? His wife, his neighbors. Did he not have a red flag? That's another thing they're trying to put out there. Are there red flags to these people who do have their guns legally?
I don't know.
Wow.
So that was it. That's who I give. That's who I give the donkey of the day to.
He is a donkey.
Can I say something also?
Uh-huh.
You don't have to have a gun. This young man that went in and stabbed those folks
Oh yeah, you can do it with a
Use the
knife.
Yeah, you just go off. Some man used a chainsaw,
Yeah,
a hammer.
it could be anything.
Yeah,
but I don't
anything.
know what's going on. The world is getting worse. We gotta pray.
Just keep praying. Don't stop.
You gotta pray.
Keep praying.
You gotta pray
for your safety when you do
Pray
go
for
out
your
the house.
safety.
I pray for my safety and my sister's safety when we go and deliver food.
Yeah,
because we don't want nobody shooting at us thinking, "Oh, what they doing in my driveway?"
Exactly. Oh,
did I order a sandwich?
I know. So that's it. So tomorrow, hopefully, again, unless there's some major story about this submarine or submersible or whatever it is, I don't care about this thing. And the 5 people, they're gone. God bless their souls.
Yeah, we pray for the family.
You know, pray hopefully that they were prayed up before the thing exploded.
And that stepson who's out there acting all
like an idiot.
I pray that he gets some closure and some understanding that that's your family down there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have a good relationship.
I don't know. All right, y'all. Don't forget our 100 family-friendly jokes.
We had a friend of ours take a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. If you have one,
in her book.
Take a picture of it, send it to us so we can post it.
Yeah.
Take a picture of yourself holding a book that said, I support the Woods Report.
Oh.
And we'll post it on our social media. 100 family-friendly jokes, volume 1. We working on volume 2
on Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon. The link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to one of our channels.
What happened to that?
On any of our social media. My battery died.
Oh.
Don't forget. Well, I said the thing, but let it. Don't forget to like, comment. And subscribe. Always believe. And that was another Woods Report. See y'all later.